Good morning, baseball. It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another episode of Good Morning Baseball with my lovely co-host Frank. How are we doing today, Frank? Lots of fun baseball stuff to talk about around the league today. We're going to get into a recap in just a second. But first, how was your day, Frank? Do you have a good one?
Yeah, I did, man. Just hung out today, pretty low key, had a day off. Watching some baseball, watched the Yankees play, and I watched the Angels play. But watched your live stream, so of course that made up for the game today. So it was a good day. Yeah.
Wow, you're saying that anybody watching this should catch an NMR Sports watch party and we could watch the Angels suffer together? Wow. Great
Absolutely.
shameless
It's better that
plug.
way.
Exactly. I love
Yeah.
to hear it. Well, although the Angels weren't able to squeak out a W, a lot of interesting games out on the slate. I think we're going to start doing this every day. We have a new thing. We're going to recap all the games before we dive in and get our questions through. So without further ado, let's go over some of the games yesterday. Starting off with the New York Mets playing the Miami Marlins. 6-0 victory there for the Mets. Eduardo Escobar with a 3 RBI game for the Mets in New York. Got the Cubs at Pirates, 12-1 victory for the Pirates. 4 players in this one on the Pirates had a multi-hit and multi-RBI game. We had the Tigers facing off in Boston, a 5-2 loss for the Tigers. Franchy Cordero with a 3-hit, 2 RBI performance for the Red Sox in that one. Yankees with a 4-2 victory over the Rays in Tropicana. Gerrit Cole took a no-hitter into the 8th inning, but Michael Kay unfortunately jinxed the no-no. Wasn't able to get it done. Braves with a pitching matchup for the ages, 2-1 victory for them. They ended up walking it off in the 9th inning off of the Giants closer Camilo Doval. Jose Mid Barrios, the most overrated pitcher in baseball, and a guy I'm sure is a great person, but I love to see him not succeed. It's a weird thing I have. Well, he ends up giving up 5 earned runs in 4 innings pitched against the White Sox, and although the Blue Jays would try to come back in this one, it was to no avail. 8-7 victory for the Chicago White Sox. Corbin Burns, 7 shutout innings versus the Cardinals to win a 2-0 victory over there. And then the Royals with a 6-2 victory in Anaheim, unfortunately. I'd rather not talk about this one, but Salvador Perez with the dagger in the 8th inning, 420 feet to dead center off of Noah Syndergaard, who was pitching very well up to that point, I might add. But unfortunately, the Royals take one in Anaheim. And then our final game of the day, the Padres with a 4-1 victory over the Diamondbacks with their first game without Manny Machado available off the bench or in the lineup. So lots of interesting games around there, but only a couple that we want to talk about. Any of those games really stand out to you, Frank?
Yeah, man. I'd love to talk to you about ONeil Cruz. His first game of the season. The Pirates winning 12-1 today.
Yeah, man, that was a wild one. So ONeil Cruz, obviously, we talked about him yesterday, getting the call. Well, this was his first start of the year. Probably should have been on the roster from opening day, but service time manipulation and all that jazz. I honestly don't know because he played last year. I'm not sure if he's eligible to be manipulated like that, but for some reason the Pirates had him in the minor leagues. Well, he came up today. First thing he did was throw a 96-mile-per-hour strike to the first baseman on the first ground ball he received. And then he just hit a little 112-mile-per-hour double just for fun later in the game. Ended the day with a 2-for-5 performance and gathered 4 RBIs in this 12-1 victory for the Pirates as well. So ONeil Cruz, obviously, 96-mile-per-hour strike to first base, 112-mile-per-hour double. Could ONeil Cruz be the future StatCast darling of the league with Giancarlo Stanton starting to get a little bit older? Obviously, Giancarlo Stanton, the guy who's known for every at-bat being 110-plus miles per hour off the bat.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to say. I mean, you look at Stanton's stats there, and he is just on the leaderboard consistently. You see a 112-mile-an-hour double from Stanton, and you don't really even bat an eye, right? But seeing some, young player like ONeil Cruz come up and do that right in his first game of the season, provide 4 RBIs in today's game, go 2 for 5, have a very strong arm as well. I do think he has the potential to get there. And one thing else I'll say, it's obviously something I'm rooting for because Pittsburgh needs this man. Pittsburgh needs a guy like him to root for, potentially become a future All-Star. Who knows? What are you thinking?
I follow a couple of Pirates fans over on Twitter, and I don't think I've ever seen them tweet about baseball. because I've only known them for a couple of years now. There's excitement brewing in Pittsburgh, man. There are a lot of Pirates fans excited about this young man, and I'm excited about him too. He is just a joy to watch, man. You don't see a lot of like 6'5" shortstops in the league nowadays, and hopefully he could stay a shortstop for a while. He strikes me as a future, shortstop converted outfielder or future DH, but whatever he is, man, he's something else out there. Definitely a fun guy to watch in the same categories like a Ronald Acuna or Juan Soto. Just a joy to watch. Fernando Tatis Jr. same type of guy.
Yeah. And this guy is 23. I just noticed that. And sometimes I sit here and think, as a 23-year-old myself, I think you're also 23, Nolan. This is crazy, to think I could be, I could be in a different life. I could be 6'7" and 220 and hitting balls that hard, crazy. But...
No, I'm older. This guy, Chase Silseth, made his debut for the Angels the other day. I'm older than him. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so 23-year-old kid. I also found out he was a Dodger. He was originally drafted by the Dodgers. Came over in a trade for Tony Watson. Came over in a Tony Watson trade. Former Angels legend. But yeah, ONeil Cruz, man. Stud. Absolute stud. Yeah. Now moving on to a pitcher's duel that we had over in Atlanta. Max Fried squaring off against Logan Webb. Two young aces at the forefront of each team's rotation. 7 innings pitched apiece, 1 earned run apiece, 7 strikeouts for Webb, 8 strikeouts for Fried. They were going pitch for pitch with each other today. Now my question to you, Frank, let's say you're a billionaire, you're Jeffrey Bezos, you decide you buy an MLB franchise, maybe you have an expansion team. Which young pitcher do you want leading your franchise into the future at the top of your rotation?
I think out of the two, man, I would have to go with Max Fried. I've seen him play for a while now, and every time I watch, I don't get around to National League watching games very consistently that often these days. But just having a great relatively young, left-handed, consistently good pitcher on your team, I think could really add to an arsenal. So that's who I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably pick Max Fried too, but for argument's sake, Logan Webb, man, he is solid, and I really like. I was watching him on the Chris Rose Rotation podcast. Man, he just seems like a fun clubhouse guy. He doesn't seem like the pressure gets to him at all. He was actually the last National League pitcher to homer. He had a home run in his last at bat of the 2021 season, and I love his postseason pedigree already. He looked phenomenal, and I think he had 2 starts in the postseason last year. The dude just shoves. He's got great stuff, and I think they're around the same age, so it's not really much of an age difference. But either one of these guys, man, they are both phenomenal and should be in the league for years to come. Say the next 5 to 10 years. I'd probably take Fried. I think he has a little bit better stuff, but Logan Webb is it's definitely closer than we make it seem. All right, moving on to another stud pitching performance, man. Corbin Burnes, 2021 National League Cy Young. Was definitely close. I probably would have gone with Zach Wheeler, but Corbin Burnes, I think when he was on the mound, pitched a little better, just had a lot fewer innings. But in 2022, man, he is off to a ridiculous start again. Yesterday, he had 7 innings pitched with 2 hits, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts against the St. Louis Cardinals, who I believe were leading the division. Let me double check this real quick. Yeah, so they were tied for the division lead coming into today, but with this W, I legitimately, this is just a random question that I thought of just now. Is it possible to win a game when Corbin Burnes throws 7 scoreless, Devin Williams comes in, and Josh Hader comes in? I legitimately don't think with those 3 guys available, I don't think you can win that game.
Yeah, the Cards got some, really heavy hitters in their lineup. So if they can't do that, I'm hard pressed to say anyone could. That's a lethal 3 spot there. So
yeah, I mean, it's a guaranteed win. Like if you go into the postseason game 1, if the wild card game still exists and it was a 1-game playoff, the Brewers are built for that 1 game, man. They are built for that. If it's game 7 of the World Series and you have Burnes, Williams, and Hader together, it's a guaranteed win. Now, my question for you is, we know they have half of a championship contending team. Their rotation's nasty. Their bullpen's possibly the best in baseball. It's definitely up there. Could the could the Brew Crew, become a legit World Series contender at this trade deadline? They do have a pretty good farm system. It's not one of the best, but they do have some prospects that are available. Do you think there are pieces out there that are available that could make them a World Series contender?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a few days ago about, potentially Josh Bell heading there. That would be interesting to see. Really, it's all about, for me, I think, beefing up their offense, because if they can get a few good hitters in that lineup before, or, by the trade deadline,
Yeah.
I think they could definitely have a good run. But ultimately, if the bullpen's not, having any runs to support them, then it's, the effort is null.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's tough because right now I think the Cardinals are so much better, in my opinion. I think the Cardinals are a much better baseball team as it stands right now. But the Brewers, it's like they refuse to get better. They already have like the hard part's done. We as Angels fans know this. The hard part is getting a good young core, a good young pitching staff, and a few young, talented guys. Like, I mean, I guess Christian Yelich isn't the most talented guy to build your franchise around anymore, but they've got the young, talented pitchers, and there's so many easy bats to get, especially free agency last year. They could have gone after Jock Peterson. He's been a stud this season. They could have gone after Kyle Schwarber. He's been hitting nukes over in Philly. Could have gone after Nick Castellanos. They made a trade for Hunter Renfroe, but like, come on, man. There's so many ways they could have improved this team, and I still think there's some ways out there. They still Nelson Cruz is available. I'm sure there'll be other teams that are just out of it that will start selling some pieces off. But man, the Brewers really disappoint me because they could be blowing the NL Central away right now. But I don't know if it's just they don't want to spend the money or what. But yeah, the Brewers really disappoint me right now. I think it's the Cardinals division to lose, but yep. With Corbin Burns on the mound, man, you can't really lose with him, Hader, and Williams. It's just such a lethal duo or trio, I guess. So okay, and we're down to our last game I want to talk about. These Monday slates are a little bit shallow, so not a full slate of games to talk about, but we already talked about Gerrit Cole having a dominant performance in the Rays and Yankees game, but unfortunately for the Rays, who have already been bitten by the injury bug massively, another 2 blows to their outfield. Manuel Margot went down with what didn't look like a catastrophic injury. Like, if you look at the play, you really doesn't seem like he got, it doesn't seem like a freak injury, like he got that hurt, kind of like you were talking about the Ozzy Albies broken foot when he was just kind of standing there. But he had to get stretchered off the field. He couldn't put any weight on it. They're saying it's a sprained knee, I believe it was, like some sort of sprain in there. I'm no medical professional, but they do say he's going to miss an extensive amount of time. And then also in this one, their stud center fielder, probably the best defensive center fielder of the last decade, Kevin Kiermaier, left with a ankle injury. It seemed like something in his leg. He left on a strikeout. Actually, he twisted his ankle a little bit. And they say he's going to be out for a little bit. Shouldn't miss too much time, but the Rays, they're just stacking up now. We already had Shane Baz, who was out earlier in the year. He just came back. Tyler Glasnow still recovering from Tommy John surgery. Wander Franco's been in and out of the lineup a little bit this year. And now with Margot and Kiermaier out, I don't even know who's going to be playing outfield for them. So my question for you, man, are you worried about the Rays? Are their playoff hopes in jeopardy because of these injuries?
Yeah, man. I would lean towards yes, absolutely. I think Boston just today, with the Rays' loss, has taken third place. Then again, but at the same time, the Blue Jays kind of falling behind a little bit. I was hoping that the Rays could pick up a little bit of the pace there, maybe get into second place in their division, because as we know, the Yankees are really running away with this. I mean, they're 15-17 at this point. So unless they slow down drastically. But yeah, I mean, with these outfield holes, it's really hard to believe that the Rays are going to be anywhere near the top caliber in which we know they can play when they have a fully healthy squad, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a little rough. I mean, the addition of Tyler Glasnow is going to be huge for them, and if Wander Franco can come back and be the guy that we know he can be, it'll be interesting to see. The Rays are usually pretty active in the trade market, but they're the kind of team that likes to make budget moves, like last year acquiring Nelson Cruz. They got Jordan Luplow, I believe, at the trade deadline as well. So they're the kind of team, they'll probably make a couple of moves where you just kind of scratch your head and you're like, why would you make that move? And then all of a sudden they turn into, just like the most clutch hitter you've ever seen in your life. Jordan Luplow hit a grand slam off Chris Sale in the postseason last year, so you never really know with the Rays. I'm never counting them out. I picked them as my division winner. I don't feel confident in that prediction anymore, but I do feel pretty confident they'll be able to bounce back. They always seem to find a way, kind of like Jurassic Park. The Rays find a way.
Absolutely, yeah, and you can't rule it out. I mean, these similar to the AL West. I think the second, third, fourth spot in this division is pretty close, and you can't really rule anyone out at this point. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll just have to see, as they say. Anyways, I think that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Baseball. A little bit of a shorter episode, but just as much fun as all the others. All right, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily MLB content. We'll be giving you guys one of these every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Comment down below what you think of the Rays' playoff hopes, if you think they're in jeopardy right now, or if they'll just be the same old Rays that figure out a way to win like they do every season. Let me know if you think Jose Barrios is the most overrated pitcher in all of baseball. We already know the answer to that is yes, but just for fun. And don't forget to leave a like. Help us reach as many baseball fans as possible. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.